Moors to the land? And why do a lot of Black Americans claim to be the natives of the Americas? Do you know who Emperor Abubakar II was? He was the emperor to the Mali Empire up until 1311 when he sailed to the Americas. And after he sailed to the Americas, the most richest man in the history took over, and that happened to be his brother, Mansa Musa. Before we continue to talk about the Moors, you need to understand who the Mali Empire was. Mali Empire ruled most of West Africa from the 13th century to the 16th century, covering modern-day Mali, Senegal, and more. Mali controlled half of the world's gold, trading gold, salt, ivory with North Africa and beyond. Timbuktu was their cultural capital, home to huge libraries and universities. They were devoted Muslims, but also stuck to their African traditions. The Mali Empire was a center of learning, science, culture, at a time when most of Europe was in the Dark Ages. The Mali Empire shows Africa's incredible legacy. They had wealth, education, and they were just overall powerful. And it connects directly to the Moors that were once in Spain. The Moors weren't just in Africa. They were in Spain, Portugal, and south of France. And the Moors are the ones that took out those parts of Europe from the Dark Ages. Moors were a mix of Berbers, Arabs, and Africans from North Africa and West Africa. In 711 AD, they crossed into Spain and France and ruled for over 700 years. Moors taught the Spaniards and the French advanced knowledge like science, medicine, astronomy, irrigation, algebra, maps, and even surgical tools. While the rest of Europe was living in dirt and diseases, the Moors had street lights, running water, public baths, and libraries. Cordoba, under the Moorish rule, had over 70 libraries, and it was once one of the most advanced cities in the world. The Moors had so much influence that words like algebra, alcohol, and coffee came from Arabic. In fashion, they brought silk, cotton, and luxurious dyes. But in 1492, the same year Columbus set sail, the last Moorish stronghold, Granada, fell to the Christian reconquistas. The Catholic monarchs, Ferdinand and Isabella, gave the Moors an ultimatum. You either convert, leave, or die. Many were forced to convert, and others were enslaved, but thousands did flee back to North Africa. Everything I just stated you can read from books like The Golden Age of the Moors, written by Ivan van Sturma, The Story of the Moors in Spain by Stanley Lane Poole, UNESCO's records on Islamic Spain, even European Renaissance scholars reference Moorish texts. Abubakar II shows how powerful the Moors were. African empires were more than just ruling, they were exploring, and they weren't conquering, they were sharing their culture, education, and luxuries. The Moors contributed to global history way before colonization. Now, during Albuquerque II's rule, he didn't have power over the Moors in Spain, but they did have a connection. So as I end this video, I want you to remember one thing, because in the United States, we're not taught real history, and we have to take it upon ourselves to learn other countries' history about us to know what we've been lied about. Remember this: Europe did not civilize Africa. Africa civilized Europe. You never heard of this before. Why? Ask yourself that. Make sure you guys hit the follow button, like, and leave your comments below, and check out the playlist as I keep adding more videos to the series. Because next we gotta talk about who the Moors in America were, what they did in the United States and in the Mexica Empire, aka the Aztec Empire, and then we're gonna get into the beliefs about the Moors being the Olmecas and why many people believe that the Moors are native to the Americas.